Right, we're kicking things off with the clamp box. Solid start, you only need about 22 of these to feel like you know what you're doing. Now pulling out the canvas, and yeah, it's massive. At 155 by 2.6 meters, it's basically a tarp with a fan-sized hole in it. There's a clamp at the opening, allegedly to tighten around the fan, but I'm already wondering which side it goes on. This is where the confusion sets in. The hole is offset and I'm just sort of poking it into the opening. And now I'm grabbing the crossbar and lifting the fan out of the bag. So where I pause for reading break number 1, aka why is this not as obvious as I thought it was? Alright, back at it. I decided to mount the canvas on the wrong side. Obviously, that manual could really use a diagram or 5. But it fits so tightly. Now, here's a crossbar again. It fits into either side, which sounds helpful until you realize it's too flexible a system. Reading break number 2. Can we just commit to one side, please? I put the crossbar in one side, sort of play around, and then shove the whole fan into the doorway. Now there's a moment of clarity after this reading break. I realize that the fan actually blocks the corner and effectively seals that part of the canvas. So that's pretty smart. But I put the canvas on the wrong side. So off it comes, back on the outside where it's meant to be. Right, now the canvas fits neatly around the fan. I'm finally starting to understand the logic here. You can choose which corner to install the fan into, just avoid hinges and obstructions. Naturally, I picked the worst corner here. Now, figuring out the crossbar tensioning. There are 2 fasteners, and at this point I'm not entirely sure if one's decorative. It's a bit wiggly. I do a close-up because the fit against the frame isn't quite confidence-inspiring yet. But later I'll learn that tightening it properly does sort that out. Right, now we're getting serious. The canvas pulled up, clamps coming out. This part is like pitching a tent on a windy hill, but inside. Okay, the clamps go on, clamps fall off, it's all happening. But hey, it's starting to look like an actual blower door setup. A bit lopsided maybe, but it's progress. I'm clamping pretty tightly around the frame, no gaps, and I've used all the clamps. So now I'm wondering, if the opening was any bigger, like the full size the canvas allows for, would there be enough clamps? Maybe you can space them out? Maybe not. Worth testing. Alright, time for the glamorous part now, product placement. The power is connected at the bottom left of the fan, and once you flick the switch, the Wi-Fi and start button light up and blink. Now unpacking the pressure hoses. They're different, not your classic Retrotec tubes. These have custom fittings that snap onto the fan. The canvas even has a zipper for threading the outdoor tube through. Nice touch. I also like the little clips for bundling the tubes. Finally, a way to stop the spaghetti mess on the floor. And that's the full setup done. It's not a 10-minute job at first, but it's tidy once you get the hang of it. Let's start with the cons, because that's where I started too. First off, it's a bit counterintuitive. The fan closes off one corner of the opening, which throws you if you're used to being able to flip the fan for pressure and depressurization. Fitting the crossbar is a bit fiddly. There are a lot of fasteners and not a lot of clarity on which ones to use when. The headpiece twists for final tightening. A neat trick once you know it. The canvas takes practice. Too tight and the clamps snap off, too loose and you risk gaps around the edges. You need a groove or frame to mount the fan into, which could be a limitation if there's no suitable joinery to clamp to. And not sure the clamps alone would hold for a full-size canvas opening. That might be pushing it. And the power cord, a bit short. Bring an extension cord, you'll thank yourself later. Now the pros, and there are a few big ones. It's super light. Like, did I forget something light? Once you figured out the setup, it's potentially faster and less faff than assembling a full frame system. The flexible setup works well with typical aluminium joinery. You're not stuck needing a perfect frame fit. The tubing system is brilliant. No mess, no confusion, and no tubing assistant. So our final verdict? Yes, with a learning curve. It's not idiot-proof and it's not a plug-and-play replacement if you're used to Retrotec or Minneapolis. But with a bit of practice, it could make testing lighter, faster and more adaptable, especially on sites with standard window joinery and limited setup time.